Yeah,
Delightful
fun,
mind.
fun, fun. A lot of familiar faces. Yes, yes, yes. And then a couple of new ones. Hi, 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 hi. I did it. Yeah, that's better. Just sit on that side. I was just sharing. We were just revisiting Hitler last night, and how this guy he didn't. Yeah. Out of context again. Sounds weird. That's the trouble with that game. Right? I mean, it's part of what makes it awesome, but also problematic. So this guy. So we just started playing. Has anyone played Secret Hitler here? Do you know? Like, have you played
I've vaguely seen it.
Like Werewolf? Have you played Werewolf? So it's a similar kind of. So you're at a table with people and you have different affiliations, and you don't really know everyone. Like the fascists know that they're the fascists, and we know who's Hitler, but like Hitler doesn't know we're the fascists, and the liberals don't know who they are. So then you play the game, and by watching the gameplay and people doing things, you're trying to figure out like who's on your side, who's not on your side, right? Well, last night everyone was very like super polite, and no one was really doing anything like weird. So it wasn't like, okay, they played a liberal, okay, she played a fascist, but that shouldn't have a choice. Like it was like nothing was starting to be like, that guy's suspicious. You know what I mean? We didn't have any of that. And yet, like, it was our turn to vote him for chancellor.
Never.
And he, like, literally, he didn't say a word at the table. And he was, like, the 6th person. And we all voted him no. Like, we all, like, just on instinct, were like, no! Like, I was like, you're a problem child. I knew you were a liberal. So that's why I was antagonizing you. Because I wanted you to appear like a fascist to everyone else. The game is a little bit more fun when you are, like, when you're just the good guy trying to do the good thing and trying to not let the spies ruin it. It's like, you know, but when you're like the bad guy, you're trying to like play it. You're like, ah, it is a little bit more fun. Anyway, I love board games. I don't know if you can tell that by now. But, so I'm Carrie Keranen, but I think most of you already know that and stuff. So yesterday I did, hi, hello, welcome. You look so comfy.
Oh, I'm very comfy.
Hello. So yesterday we did a panel called like Coffee with Carrie, and it was like, I served coffee. And we chatted, and so the other panels had like a little bit of a theme, and this one, I guess, is just like an hour. It was called An Hour with Carrie. So, you have an hour with me. But I don't have a plan for this one because I kind of forgot it was happening until today. And I was really just focused on the panel I was doing earlier today. So, hi. Were you here yesterday?
Yes, I'm the one that scared the hell out of you when I walked through the door.
It's weird that like you made such an impact on my soul. I recognized you without any costume, and you were totally covered yesterday. And yet I knew, I could tell just by the way you walked in the room. I was like, do that crazy clown thing.
I was a demon, not a clown.
Well, you seem like a clown. Yes, the demon arrived at the gates. So anyway, did everyone have a good weekend? Have fun? What were some highlights? Just in general, just like me. You're welcome. Anything particular? No, just me. Just my.
Your energy.
Your energy, yeah.
Anyone else have fun? Yeah? Yes? Are you? Oh no, you're scratching your head. Did anyone go to the bootleg bomber thing?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. That was weird.
Yes. It was weird. But actually, like, I found it really super educational, actually. Yes. You know, because for me, when I'm signing things, like, I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't really have time to, like, be like, is this, and of course, it's not really appropriate, necessarily, for me to, like, say, oh, I don't want to sign this, or sign, you know what I mean? Or, like, call someone out, like, maybe, but I've had some of the producers be like, can you, at, like, one time we were doing a signing, they were like, oh, can you not sign any merchandise isn't ours, and I was like, sure, no problem. Would you let me know if it's not your merchandise? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, ah, you know? So I found it, like, really educational. I didn't really realize that there was such a market for that. And that, like, people would be selling it, like, finding sneaky ways to sell it at conventions. I'd be so mad if I got home and, like, I had a crappy version of it. That sucks. Anyway. But once they started like frying stuff, I was like, it's weird that it smells good. You know what I mean, right? You're like, because I do not want to eat that. You're like, it doesn't smell terrible, but then I was in Europe before I came here. So for some reason, like right in the middle of the panel, like the jet lag just like crushed. I was like, oh my goodness! So like I had to go back and like miss the back half of the cooking because I had to like go take a nap and then wake up for my next panel. But that was fun, interesting. Anyone go to the rave last night? Yeah, ooh, have fun. Yeah, good stuff.
Greg puts on a really good show.
Yeah, I've been to like 3 conventions with him where he's done a rave, and I haven't been able to go to any of them yet. Well, last night I had stuff at the same time. There was one time where like, I don't remember. Twice I've had other panels at the same time he's had that, but then one time I didn't, but I think I was just like exhausted, and then heard like epic tales of people being on stage with him and Lisa Ortiz learning how to twerk. Something. I was like, well, now I'm really sad I missed that. But he's a doll. I love him. Anyway, okay, so hi. I am a voice actor, and I really like to keep these things like pretty like casual. So you don't have to feel like I have a really important question or whatever. Like sometimes people are like, I love that episode where such and such happened or whatever. So I welcome any questions or like comments about like anything. And you'll notice that you'll ask me a question and I'll just talk tangentially for a while and then maybe answer it. So we're just gonna go with the flow. But does anyone have any comments or questions? Hello, sir. Welcome. I feel like you're dressed perfectly to like slyly walk in the back, and like, you know what I mean? You're like dressed with like the one hand in the pocket, trench coat, surveying things, stand in the back. It's like Casablanca. What's that guy's name?
Rick Blaine.
Yeah. That isn't like that's your cosplay now. I decided.
Okay.
Yeah. Just for now, while you're in this room, that's
Out of
who you
all
are.
the gin joints in all the world, she had to walk into mine.
This is the voice acting one, right?
Yes.
Sitting up front for this one.
Yes, and I'm a voice actor.
Excellent.
So.
I'm going to talk to you afterwards.
Yeah, so I've just been chatting about nothing really, and so yeah. So if you guys have any questions, are those real flowers or are they fake flowers?
They are fake flowers.
They are fake flowers. They look really good.
Thank you.
From here. So I just taught a meditation class in my last panel. It was really fun. Yeah. And yeah. So does anyone have any? Yes.
I have a question. Have you ever met anyone cosplaying anyone your voice?
Oh yeah,
What was that
absolutely.
experience
Actually, you know what? I'm actually pretty terrible about that in the sense that 2 things. One, I think I'm going to use this because I feel like my voice. I think I'm going to use this just because I feel like my voice is getting a little tired. So I'm sort of terrible about that in the sense that I get like really excited when I see people cosplaying in shows that I'm in, and I will often like go up to them and be like, oh my god! But a lot of times I will go up to them and start to interact with them like in character. But like they don't know who I am. And so, but it's like an instinct of mine to just be like, and it's really bad with when I find Ryukos, because I just start like giving them a hard time, and I'll be like, this is a 14-year-old girl who doesn't know who you are. Like you're just like, be careful. But I was with Lisa Ortiz at one thing, and I was like, oh, and I was like, Ryuko Matai! Like I just yelled her name. She was like, yeah. And I was like, Ryuko. She was like, yeah. And I was like, that's right. I don't know, like I was just being so weird. I don't know what I said to her. I was being so weird. I was like, but I was doing it like while we were heading out, so it was like in transit. And after I walked away, like Lisa was like, she plays this character. Listen, she had like go back and explain it. She's like, Carrie, you can't do that to people. I was like, I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. And she was like, Ryuko, I just reacted, like in movement, like so. I've definitely, but I think that at first I was really shy when I first came to conventions about like approaching people, because I was like, well, what am I gonna do? So I was talking to a girl. She was dressed as mommy, and I was like, oh hi! I was like so excited to see someone dressed as a character I play. Right? I was like, oh hi! I was like, oh I love mommy. And she was like, yeah, me too. And I was like, yeah. And we were chatting a little bit about the show and this and that and that. And I was like, okay, bye. And I was with like my handler, and he was like, you didn't tell her who you are. And I said, oh, do you think she'd want to know? And he was like, yes. I was like, oh, okay. So then I go like running back down the aisle, like, because it was in the dealer room, like, looking for her. And I, like, run back up to her. She's like, at a table looking at something. I was like, hi, oh, by the way, I'm Mommy. And she was like, okay. And I was like, no, I mean, like, I'm her voice. And then she was like, oh my gosh! And totally, and I was like, oh, they like that. Oh, okay, oh, that's nice. And then that particular convention because of that, we started a game called Mommy Bombing, where I would try and find, like, as many mommies as I could and, like, talk to them for a while before I, like, told them who I was. And so, yeah, I was in a convention in Albuquerque, and someone was dressed as, who were they? They were one of my characters. Maybe it was Satsuki or Reinhardt. They were one of my characters. I can't remember exactly who it is now. And I was like, oh my gosh! And I, like, ran over and I was like, can I get a picture? Because someone was taking her picture because she was cosplay. She was like, they were like, okay. Like, and again, like, I barely look like an attendee most of the time. Like, I don't even have my badge on. Like, I never wear my badge. So I just look like some random person who's in the hotel. You know what I mean? Like, no, I have no identifying features. And so, because I don't, a lot of times I don't have to have my badge because whoever's my handler, like, has their badge, they can get me into anywhere I'm going because I'm always with them. So I, like, just end up, like, forgetting to wear it or whatever. So I just ran up and I was, like, taking pictures. So I was like, oh, okay. And so I took the picture, and as I had my arm around, I was like, oh, Satsuki, huh? She's like, yeah. I was like, I'm Satsuki. And then she was like, what? And I was like, oh, I do her voice. And I was like, ee! And then, so the picture is me like, ee! And her being like, I guess I just have a mischievous part of me that, like, I cannot help it. But I also, this one guy was dressed as Guts in an elevator from Berserk, and he was like, he was tall, right? So I get in the elevator, and instead of, like, facing forward to the door like people do, like, I was, can you stand up? Alright, so he's standing in the elevator, right? He's just in there in the elevator. And I, like, get on the elevator, and I was like, oh, but he's like really tough. Can you stand on your head? Really tough. So, like, I'll sit down. So I get on the elevator, and I was like, oh my god, are you guys? Excuse me, are you guys? And he's like trying not to look at me. So don't look at me. Try not to look at me like that. I was like, oh, I love it. I'm Casca. He, like, goes, he nods, like, He nods, like, No, I'm Casca. No, but I played her. I'm touching him. A stranger, touching him in his face, in his, like, in his, like, armor. I'm like, I'm Casca. And then finally he starts to realize. And then he gets really excited. And then I was like, can I get a picture with you? And his friends figured it out. Thank you so much. And his friends figured it out, like, sooner because, like, they weren't traumatized by how I was behaving. This poor man. I was like, can I get a picture with you? And he was like, can I get a picture with you? So then we went out after that. We got off the next, like floor, and we, like, took pictures and stuff and whatever. And it was super fun. But I was like, you've got to be less weird. Like, you have to find a way to be, like, less weird towards guests. Like, you really, like, towards attendees. Like, you just have to find a better way. And but I will also say that Max, I was at I think it was Anime Boston actually. That and I saw, like, a ladybug walk by, and I was there with Max for something else, and he plays Plag, and I was like, oh my god, there's a ladybug, and it was one of his first conventions, either his first one, but early on. And I was like, oh my god! So I, like, took off running down the hall after the ladybug, and he didn't know what was going on, so he just, like, took off running after me. And then we got there, and I was like, oh my god! I was like, ladybug! And I hate when cosplayers won't answer to their character names, but because I don't know her real name, I was just, like, yelling ladybug down the hallway. So other people who saw me chasing after her and saw her, like, coming from the other direction, they'd be like, I think they were, like, stopping and be like, someone's screaming your character name, running down the hallway of this, like, mall, this corridor, and she turns around, she's like, hi, and I was like, hi, ladybug! Because, like, that's my opening line, is just to yell their character name, as if they should have, like, oh my god. So then he comes running up, and I was like, I'm Alia! And she was like, what? And I was like, and this is Plag! And then she was like, no, you're kidding me, no, you're kidding me, right? She's like, oh my God. I was like, yeah. And then he did the voice, and she just like dropped to the floor. Dropped to the floor, and we both were like, oh. And he was like, oh my God. But then I feel like he understood the joy of this. So I feel like I'm like constantly bombing people. At one convention I started to warn people. I was like, if you're dressed as my character, I will probably come up to you and start talking at you. So like, just be prepared. Like it's like it should be like a warning. Like don't dress, or anyone in any of the shows I'm in. If I recognize you from any of the shows I'm in too, even if it's not my character. It's worse if it's my character. But if you're in one of the shows, it's gonna happen anyway. So I have a lot of terrible stories of me accosting people. But I think it's awesome. I dressed up for, I cosplayed once at Anime Expo 2 years ago. It was our last panel for Kill la Kill. And I decided, a Japanese actress had come the first year and she wore the school dress and did the speech. And I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. And then, well, there's a couple parts to the story. I'm now just telling stories. I've already answered your question though, right? Before I just start talking. Okay. So I heard that she did that, and I was like, that's awesome, right? Like, that's amazing. So then, Christine Marie Cabanos, who plays Mako, was at, like, New York Comic-Con, and she did the Satsuki speech. They were like, oh, what character would you be if you weren't your character? And she picked my character, because she and I are good friends. And so she did the Satsuki speech, and I saw a video of it. And I was like, oh, two can play at that game. So then, 2 years ago, I decided to learn one of the Mako Hallelujah speeches and do it at a convention. So we had a Kill la Kill panel at Animate Miami, and it just so happened that like Matt Mercer was there, and so I did one of hers, and in the middle of his speech, his character has like a so I had him do that. So with all the motions, I not only learned her speech, I learned like all the poses that she did during the speech, and I acted out the entire thing. Was like my answer, because I can't help it. It's like, oh, you're gonna. I was like, if you do something, I'm like, well, I'm gonna do this. If you do, like, I grew up around boys. I don't know what it is. Like, I'm very. I don't know if it's competitive. I don't know what it is, but I'm like, So I had decided, oh, well, if the original Japanese actress dressed as the schoolgirl and did the speech, then like, I guess I have to dress as Junketsu. And I told the producer that I was going to do that, and she was like, oh my, please don't. She was like really nervous, she's like going to get thrown out, like, and so I PG-13'd it up, but like dressed as my, I came in and I like had a bag with just like Junketsu like sticking out the top, and like some of the other actors were like, is that, Patrick like texted me, he's like, did I just drive by you and you're carrying a bag of Junketsu? I was like, maybe, because I didn't tell anyone except for the director and the producer I was even thinking about doing it. And so I showed up there, and they like didn't know. And the next thing you know, I'm like changing backstage, and the cast is like, "What the hell is going on?" And the producer was like really nervous about me doing it the whole time. She was like, "Oh my God, are you really doing it? Oh God, oh God, oh God!" She was so nervous. I got like all dressed. Christine had to finish dressing me, and so like I changed. I got all dressed up. I had like my wig on and everything. And then she comes up to me. She goes, "Oh, you've been working out. You look good." Yay! So, but I think like when I came out, like I think they had like cosplayers dressed up as our characters to walk us out, but it was really confusing because like I came out with my cosplayer and we were both dressed up. So like the audience at first was like, "What is happening?" and then it was super fun. That was my tangential story about why I cosplayed my character once. But it was super fun. I also loved the wig. I also loved having, I was like, oh my God, I love his hair. I left the wig on all day because it was so fun to have all that hair. Bears were like, stop touching your hair. I'm like, I can't. It's amazing. It's so beautiful. I can't stop touching it. So, anyway, okay, those are my stories about cosplay. People dressing up. Another fun thing that we did once is that when we were at Miami, I was in Florida again for something, and it was me and Erica Mendez. I made her do this twice. We found out when we were there, that there was going to be a meetup for Kill la Kill. And it was like at the end of our autograph panel session, but it was like we had autograph sessions every day, you know what I mean? So, and it was like, they were like an hour and a half or 2 hours, there was plenty of time. So I sent my handler to like go scope it out and be like, just see if they're really meeting, you know? And so she was like, oh yeah, there's a bunch of them, they're all meeting over there, da-da-da. And then we got permission to leave our autographs a little bit early because we got through our lines. We got through our lines. And then the like line of people coming in the room, we like walked down the line being like, anyone want ours, anyone? And we were like signing in line for them, like as we were like leaving. So, and we went over to the thing, and we don't look like attendees at all. And they're taking pictures outside the hotel, like on the steps. So we just look like anyone just walking by on the street, right? And so we like walk up, and I'm like, and they're like taking pictures, and I like am watching, and I see the person, and I was like, oh hi, you seem like you're in charge here. And she was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, I have a question. But at first she's like,